Hello and welcome to a Warframe video. So in this video I am doing the Mastery Rank 22 test. Now according to my practice session, I did one practice beforehand to figure out what kind of test this is going to be in Cephalon Samara's location. And yeah, after learning what exactly it is that I'm going to be up against, I decided to use my go-to guy in this kind of game mode, which is Ash. Now, whenever I do Index or whenever I do the Rathum, or any kind of battle arena where you're supposed to be killing, I don't know, NPCs that are supposed to be it's supposed to be kind of like a battle arena kind of game mode, I'm always using Ash. And the reason why I always use Ash is because he dominates when it comes to this kind of matches, because I usually use him whenever I'm doing the Index or whenever I'm doing Rathum. I'm always using Ash combined with the Rakta Dak Dagger. That's a mouthful. Rakta Dark Dagger with Covert Lethality on. That way I can essentially use Fatal Teleport, teleport to a guy and then insta-kill him using his Fatal Teleport. And that's basically how I win. That's how I do most of the matches. I'm always with Ash as a damage dealer. So since this is a very similar map, I decided, okay, let's give Ash a go and, you know, see how if he works the same way. So I noticed that there are energy orbs. Before, when I was doing the practice, I was trying to memorize where each energy orb is as well as where each ammunition is. That way I can recover. I was trying to remember what kind of enemies we're fighting. They're pretty much, well, they're kind of like Rathum enemies, I would say. They seem to be Rathum mixed with Corpus in a way. I don't know how I came up with that conclusion, but that's basically how it felt like. And yeah, aside from that, it's basically just like you would do a Rathum or an Index. It's kind of like the two combined. So when you're practicing, it's important to memorize where health items are, where energy orbs are, and where ammunition is. And well, aside from that, that's essentially that's it. You just go around, you kill them, and rank a point. It's essentially a team deathmatch kind of game mode against opponents. Loads of opponents, with the exception that it's just you're one against, I don't know, an army or something. So with Ash, I'm able to use his smoke screen to turn invisible and go around without any worries. He definitely makes the test a lot easier than normally. Then again, it's also the reason why I pick Ash for pretty much any of the same game mode. I always use Ash for this particular type of game mode, so it actually worked to my benefit that I already had a play style for this kind of game mode. So it wasn't really that difficult. It was just the idea of being careful to not take too many hits, because yeah, they can definitely deal the damage. They're meant to be that way. I mean, as a Master Rank 22 test, I would imagine it would be challenging. And of course, I decided to also bring my heavy hitting weapon that's basically decent at from mid-range to close range, which is the Arca Plasmor. And I was surprised to find out that that is essentially super effective against these guys. It was essentially killing them with 1 or 2 shots quite easily. And so my tactics were essentially running around, always moving, never stop moving, memorizing where each individual pickup is, energy, health, and ammunition, being very careful not to fall off the map, because that's obviously death, and try not to get swarmed. Essentially, if there's too many enemies or I'm being too shot by anywhere, I just bullet dash instantly to the nearest place where there isn't any enemies, and of course recover anything that I need. Smokescreen definitely helps to make you invisible and give you a nice little breather whenever you get the chance. I guess a challenge would be to not use smokescreen, but if you're doing this to, you know, progress to the next test, I recommend you don't take that risk unless you want to practice and just have fun with it. So yeah, the Arca Plasmor definitely deals tons of damage for this kind of game mode, and definitely makes quite a few short work from pretty much most enemies. There was this one enemy that I couldn't deal damage to for some reason. I don't know if he had some immunity, probably immunity to like the basic radiation. But what I did is essentially I avoid him. A lot of the other enemies don't have those resistances, so deal damage to the enemies that you do deal damage. Try to chase down the ones that are the weakest and die the fastest. That way you can just pile up those kills. As long as you make the number of kills, it doesn't matter who you kill, it just matters that you kill. So that's pretty much it, that's all it takes. And yeah, so if you've been doing Index for a while, you have a good strategy, you plow down through the enemies or wrath them as well, then you definitely know exactly what to do or how to do it. I do recommend Ash, as I suppose what kind of Warframe you use is really up to you, but I found that Ash just makes things a lot easier. If anything goes to like, if all goes to like, you know, if I was backed into a corner, then all I had to do is use my Rapid Dagger, which I didn't really need it. I didn't use any teleport whatsoever. I just run around rampaging, just pumping shots, and that's how I won. So yeah, that's how I did the Master Rank 22. I'm happy with it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching, stay cool, and I'll see you later.